Okay, let's get to it. You can see it now. I mean, you know this process already, so I'm just opening it and okay. Now I want to insert tables. Watch how I do it carefully. I'll I'll go to insert instead of home. I'll change the home to insert and I'll insert tables. Then let me do it like in a project setting, a research setting, like you're doing a project work, right? So now rows means left to right arrangement, and they are in tables. Column means up and down. So they ask you how many you want, but by default it's three. You just press insert table to show like that. Anyway, let's say I want how many rows now. Let's say 4. So you can see if that plus is to increase it, minus is to decrease it. If I put insert table now, that is what happened. Check it, you'll see it very well that it's actually 4 3 technically. Look at it. This side is showing in 3 forms, I'll just show you. While the other one is 4. Okay, if you are seeing this way and you're counting the lines. So from here now, you can see now I'll start on writing the important things here. Let's say, okay, so let's say like number of people or something. Let me see if I can be a little bit slow until I cannot. Number of people in that side, and I'll put in the other ones, which are, so let's say number of people. Yeah, okay. I'm taking my time to type it. I will still kind of do a kind of calculation here, sure, because I'm doing it in a research setting. Normally, this work is just how to insert table and use table proper. But a number of people. Another first part is a mistake. I'm not supposed to write number. Let me put percentage here. That first part, I'll have to change like questionnaires or something. Because the first part of a general table of chapter 4 talks about the questionnaire that you filled and how many they return. If you go to your sample size in your chapter 3, remember sample size among, and you go to your population, you'll see the population has a number, the sample size have another number. So the population will be the total. Sorry, the population will be the total, yes, while the sample size will be the number of people that responded. Anyway, you can see now I'm writing number of questionnaires filled and returned, meaning it might not be everybody that will return it if the number is big. Some people might not even fill it, they will just throw it aside because a BSc student cannot tell an organizational person what to do. So they might look at it as an insult, why some cooperate. So number of questionnaires filled and returned. The second part now, right? Number of questionnaires not filled and returned. And then the third part, I'll write total. As I'm saying it, that's how I'll be doing it because there's no time for me to be saying it slow. So as I'm saying it, I'll just be doing it like that. So not filled and returned. I'll also be doing some calculations here because percentage is there. I know a percentage work. We'll divide the number by the total and times 100, which is in this case. So let's assume that the total population was 200, but people that responded was 122. So number of questionnaires filled and returned, now the sample size was 122, so I'll put 122 over there. That's what I'm going to put. Then the number of questionnaires not filled and returned, let's assume this 78, right? Because both of them makes up the 200, 78. So if we add the total is 200. So now let's put the percentage form. 122 now, I can calculate it. I'll go to my calculator and I'll do 122 divided by the total, which is 200. And everything times 100 at the end of the day, which is just 61. So the second one is 78. Let me just do the calculation down. 78 divided by 200 times 100, I think should give me 39. That is correct. So you go there, 61 up, 39 down, and both of them, if you add them, they are 100, which is always the total percentage, 39. And you see it will become 100. That is it. I have to do what's called to that size will be in bold here, so that kind of table. Yeah. Then will come again. Now underneath this table, and this is very important, you put something like, let's say, survey. Or you put something on that, or it can be like survey, field work. But whatever you put, you must put the current year that you're writing the project. First of all, now let me insert another table. Let's say table 4.2. That was table 4.2, and that was the first table. So let's say this will be the second table, table 4.2. You can see that I wrote that whole thing, right? That field work stuff I told you about. I shifted it. Oh no, that dot should not be there. Remove. Sometimes when you shift twice at once, it does like that. Now table 4.2. That one is 4.1. Let me just say I can carry it down a little. Okay, press now let me write it 4.1, right? Table 4.1, let's say questionnaire distribution or anything I want to give it. But I'll just put questionnaire something there. Okay, number of questionnaires, right? It's better this way. Anyhow, where you can still put questionnaire distribution because most of these things just use distribution. Since that is what you did, you distributed them. Now table 4.2, let me use age or gender distribution. Let me use gender, which is either male or female. So gender, because all these things, why is it important? You have the person that is filling those things. You first of all take his personal information. He has to write things about himself. So not be as if it's wrong information. You just want abstract person that just answer. You have to be someone that what you show trueness. So when you're delivering the questionnaire, all these things will be like now. This chapter for which means you are grouping what the people answer. This is not the questionnaire I give them, but in the questionnaire I give them, all these things are still inside. All these questions you ask, like how many, what age are you? That is how it will appear. Anyone you put education, what education are you? But when you reach that bridge of questionnaire, you cross it. Anyway, this is table 4.2. So gender distribution now up will be gender, right? Then will come male or female. And from there now, male in this aspect, let's say female in the down aspect, and the rest is history. We'll just put total. Okay. And now, since the people that you will only be dealing with the people that responded, so now all the total must be 122 number of people. The total in number of people must be 122. Since those are the only people we're working with, people that actually responded. I went to put 4 columns. That is a mistake. It's supposed to be 3%. So I have to delete this. Watch, I'm going to delete right there. I put this percentage sign now. I'll go to that side. You can see now I'll go to this stuff again. Now there's a table column whenever I create a table. When you go to all those home insert, you can see you went there direct. You can see delete. I went out there and you see delete columns or delete rows. So I went to delete column. Then with this small thing down, I can drag it. That stuff that look like a kite. That is what I used to drag it there. Then I go mail now. Let's see. Whatever I want to give it, I get 80 female for two, but the total must be 122. That is the point. So that's 122. The percentage, I went to the calculator again. I'll calculate the percentage. No, this is just for you to be getting how I'm getting the percentage. It will reach a stage in this video. I'll stop showing you because I believe you understand. And for us to be fast, so the video will not be unnecessarily long. I just did 18 now, right? Let me do 42 divided by 122 times 100. Remember, 122 is the total. Now that I've gotten those answers, approximately, we'll put them. It is which you saw there was 66, the other one was 34. Then the same thing source fieldwork 2026, and it has 2026 because this year is 2026, so it rhymes with the present year. So if you are using an old project, if you see an old year, it's because the old year they did it that year that time. So 2026. Okay, now let me not be stressing and be drawing. What I'll do now, I'll just be copying and pasting. Yeah, I can copy and paste table. So let me draw from that table 4.2 to field work. And from there, anything I need to add. And yes, when you have inserted table, you can add rows and columns. You can, So I just copied and paste as you see it there now. Now I want to change your 4.3, right? Then here becomes like, let's say age. So it's age I'm doing now. So in the age, in that gender side also becomes age. Now in the age, you have several kind of age. You can have 18 to 30 or 18 to 35 or 36 to that kind of thing. So let me group my age first. But I know that it's not less than 18. So 18 to 30, 31 to 45, stuff like that. 31 to 45. Now, I'm just teaching you how to do this from scratch. Normally, there's a way I can use Excel and program all these things. Immediately, I just put the number. It will calculate the total and the percentage myself. But let's do it this way first. So 46 to, let's say, 55, right? Then let's say 56 to 16. Because some organizations, I don't know how it is, but 60 years, you're supposed to have retired. So 60. So let's put it like that. Remember, the total now must be up to 122. So this is what we'll be doing from there. Let's just put whatever number, 12. It looks too small for that kind of number, but it's okay. Most of them will be used. Let me change it. 30, good number. Okay, so 31 to 45 should be a little plenty too. Let's say 22 or something, right? Okay, 60. Yeah, but there should be more plenty than the use of that the normal small use. So 20 and 10. No, one of them should have 2 at the ending. Okay, this part, let me make it 22. And that is it. That is all of them are equal to 122. So the percentage needs to change, obviously, which all of them will be divided by 122 times 100, right? So Yeah, I need to make this side bold, that number of people. I forgot that. Anyway, let's go to the normal calculation. 30 divided by 122 times 100. You see what it will give us. That should be 25 or 24 approximately. 30 divided by 122 times 100, that is 49. So in that kind of aspect, those are how that I'm just showing you how you will do it. I'm not going to actually write the calculation because for now you understand how it's done. So for the rest, I'll not be putting percentage again. Like I'll put the column percentage, but I'll not be calculating it again because now you know how to get it right. So now yeah, I paste, right? I paste and then let's make it table 4.4. 4.4, let's make it like marital status. Whether are they married, are they single, all that kind of stuff. So table 4.4, marital status distribution, marital status, okay, distribution. Then we come to, let me make it bold. Let me make this side bold. The other, yes, select and bold. Come down again. Let me make that number of people and percentage bold. So from there, the percentage can always calculate it. Now, let's say the next thing now is let me change this stuffs. First one should be like single. So let me put single. Second one should be like, let's say engaged or something. So I'm just going to change this. That's 1 to 45 now to engaged. Let's do that. So the third one, it should be like, let's say married, right? It depends between engaged and married, right? Married is a wedding, engaged, you just do you marry me, so married. Then the fourth one, let's say, is divorced, right? Let me add one. Now, this is what I say you can add. Look at all the stuff. The one that points down. If I press it, see that I added. Now, in this place, I will write like widow. You might not be divorced or something, or widower. You might not be divorced or something. Yo, anyhow, you get what I mean. You might not be divorced, just like maybe the spouse died. The person, not you, obviously. But you can see I just adjusted numbers. But the point is, all of them will be equal to 122 in the total. But not all of them have to be the same number. That's why I say I was adjusting numbers. So copy, paste. Let me make table 4.5 now. And table 4.5, oh, let me carry it down a little. Table 4.5, let's see, will it be, let's say, number of years working in the company. Yeah, number of years working in the company. That is very important in this data. Old people's opinion, experienced people's opinion might be different than young ones that have started. No, this should be like table 4.6. I'll change it to 4.5. Let's say educational background status. That's what 4.5 should be in. I will adjust it now. Okay. Okay, so I delete this. And here become educational background. Educational background status or educational status or other stuff. But I talk about the educational level. I can even put it as level instead of background, but let me leave it background. But in your own time, you can put level because some of them usually use level. So, educational status or background. Let me put distribution there. And this side, let's say, you know, so is this single? Nope. I'll put like SSCE there or OND. I'll still come back to it and then make BSc slash HND. University HND is like BSc or sorry, Polytechnic HND is like BSc university is equal somehow. But in Nigeria, you know that it will not be equal. Nope. Okay. Then that up, I'll put ND. That BSc East side, I made a mistake. Obviously, you know it's HND, but you understand. Then there MSc means masters. The C should be in small letters. Then at this point, let's say PhD. Anyway, just to teach you. So if I make mistake, I might not to focus. Then let me delete this widow stuff. Because I've gotten every qualification I may need. Yes, that's another name to call it, educational qualification, right? Then we go into this number of whatever. But the number was equal to 122, so let's make sure the numbers are like that. So let's see. So you can see I adjusted that number just now. I adjusted the number because I want it to be 122 in total. Anyway, this is just how it's done. 4.6 now be the number of years working in the company. Let's copy and paste again. Um, Okay, so now that is done, okay, so 4.6, let me change that. Now, in this number of years working in the company, the good thing is that you only have two things to focus on. One is since like 1 to 6 years, and 1 to 5 years, then from then from six then from 6 years and above is the second thing to focus on. So which means like you can see now 1 to 5 years, right? I will still change that education out there. This one is 6 years and above, meaning 6 years and more than 6 years continuously. 1 to 5 years are still very young rookie workers. Then these two, another one, these two MSc and PhD, those is rows should be deleted. So I'm going to select them, then go to rows, delete rows, right? Then to select the whole entire table. Then from there now change the education as number of years worked or something. So you can see I've adjusted that number 92 plus 31 to 22 as I said. Now let me start doing the other ones. I'll start having options. These ones are what they call personal data or bio data in questionnaire from the first to the sixth, meaning the personal information of the person filling the questionnaire, answering the questionnaire. But then for 4.7 is the one that relates to the research they are doing. And that is this called the section A, section B. Is 4.7 where section B start from, which means research related questions. 4.8 just personal questions or bio data questions. Bio BIO then hyphen, then data, DATA. And don't have bio used to be in all the social media. And let me come back on track and see 4.7. I'm putting all these questions that relate to the research. AIT has good technological devices, what I want to write. Let me change that. Since we're talking about technology and AIT, right? We're just forging question at this point, but you can come up with creative question, you're the researcher. And that place now will become like options where we have things like strongly agreed, neutral, undecided. Anyone you want to use, I'll use neutral. So we'll put all those stuff. Okay. Educational background. I forgot to write it well here. Status. So let me make it background. Sorry, since that's what I used up. Now, like I was saying, strongly agreed, undecided. Number of years. I said I'll correct this, so I just did that. Um, strongly agreed. And the rest will be there. Neutral. Strongly disagree and disagree. Now that I've adjusted this, let me come here. So okay, you can see it now. Here becomes some options. Yeah, in this part now, strongly agreed, right? This is what they call Likert scale. When you have 5 points Likert scale, meaning 5 options, and those are the 5 options. Then Likert, L-I-K-E-R-T. Then scale, you know how to spell scale, S-C-A-L-E, because this method was invented by someone called Rensis Likert. Rensis, R-E-N-S-I-S, but that is not important. Strongly agreed, neutral or undecided, but I'll just put neutral. Some people it is undecided, they disagree and strongly disagreed. D, disagreed, they strongly disagreed. You can remove the D at the end of each of them anyway, except undecided. If you use undecided, then obviously the numbers will just add it in a way that will be 122. So that is just what we'll be doing. I'll do for 2 more tables under it so you'll get it. But this is how to insert table. That is the most important part. And I put it in a research setting so that as I'm giving, whenever you're doing chapter 4 of your stuff, you'll know how to handle a table form of chapter 4 in a project. And I don't know how it is for all the departments. Like, yeah, I'm still doing as I'm talking, but you already get the basics. All the departments like mass communication or something. Some of them may not insert too much table, but it's hard for you to say research without table. Even in the theory department, it's just the tables might not be long or too lengthy or too plenty like this. There's a method I can use. You can even put all the whole data of the 5 tables in just one table. But not to be lazy, let's do it this way. But you can also be looking at the past projects of few people work and know how they did their tables. Maybe you use 3, 4 of mass communication or whatever and see that these are they did their tables. Maybe 3 out of 4 is showing that specific way. You know that is the method your department use. You use it because that one is very important. Choose the method your department use very well. If all they are different, find the one that will have 2 or 3 that will have the most plenty and it's the same thing. Then from there now you can see now I'm trying to do 4.8 now. I'll change the question a little bit. These numbers are still a little okay, but I'll change some things because like I said, it does not always have to be the same numbers, right? The reason I put the same number is just for you to know. I'm not saying, but in your own terms, since you don't have to put the same number, it will be somehow. in a research. You cannot be putting the same numbers in each table. All the data or respondent or whatever, people that respond for the correspondence cannot be the same in each of them. It's not possible. And research wants to look as true as possible, even when some things are not true. Then you can see this adjusting numbers, right? That technological device, I don't want the question to be the same, so I'll still go ahead to change to communication devices or something. Uh-huh. I'll still go ahead to change it, but that is 4.8. Yes, that is table 4.8. So I can just change it to now. Taking that this is table 4 points, not normal 4 point. All these things are other 4.1 called data presentation. Use other 4.1 called data presentation. So this is now 4.9. It's just the table that having this plenty. Take note that this is 4.1. You have not even reached 4.2. Some people say some people will be interpreting down. Table blah 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 has this. Strongly agree with so this with so percent. Agree with so this with so percent. But you don't need all of that, yeah. And the lecturer understand tables, but if they say you should do it like that, you interpret them, you have to no issue. Some interpret it in their own form of data analysis, but it's better to just do it under the table because data analysis deal with solving mostly like hypothesis testing. All those hypotheses you put at the beginning of your work, but this improve us and the upgrade, improve in the upgrade and understanding of their technology. That is what I want to use here. Understanding of their technology. I'll remove that devices. Voila, so that is it, and small adjustment. But this is the point where I believe you have gotten everything, and yeah, this is where I don't think you should have any issue from again. So let me just make here 100, 22, whatever, and 20 or something. Let's see. Okay, 10 is okay. Then I'll remove your turn it to 2. 282. So that one's also a total of 122. So these are how these tables actually work. And your hypothesis table will still be different. Maybe they might even be the last three. But that is it. So I hope you understand. Bye.